All right. Thanks for everyone's patience. Here I just posted my email and saying we're going to move up to the top of the hour, and I'm 2 minutes late to 15 minutes past. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, I just said a bunch of things that didn't probably need to be said. Oh well. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation. Most folks will know me as the most times moderator, sometimes guest host on Do Nothing Project when the Do Nothing Project was on YouTube. So, oh yeah, and big thank you to Ruth. I will try to share back, Ruth, all the replies that I got from folks loving your pictures and your report. So thank you for that. I thought Ruth would be a fantastic first roving reporter. So that was I think that was a hit. So thank you for that. It sounds like the event was also a hit. So I'm sure it's to the benefit of Hollyhock, which I guess is where Jeff will be hosting some retreats coming up. So that's fantastic. All right. Today we're gonna do just feel. I think is what I'm planning on doing. We don't have our cards on Sunday. So just feel. What does that mean? That means that in the realm of sorting our experience into the three categories of see, hear, feel, we will just focus on feel, and that's both inner, feel in, emotional body sensations are feel in. Trisha, welcome. And sorry I didn't get to say hi to everybody. I didn't even start at the top, so I'm glad you're all here. So feel in is emotional body sensations. Feel out is physical body sensations. So we can think about the breath would be an example or an itch of a physical body sensation. And then to crib from the parlance of Star Wars, I have a bad feeling about this, or something, like you have a sinking gut feeling about something. That would be a feel in example. So that's what we're looking at. And so feel is our focus range. And then we're using a noting practice. So we're noticing where our attention is moment to moment. And then using a label, feel in this case, to support. It's kind of like our mental label is spotting our focus. And so just like if you were at the gym, somebody was spotting you if you're lifting heavy weights. So we can use the label as a way to help generate more focus. So we can repeat the label if we want. We can say the label out loud. We can sort of mentally speak the label loudly. And we can drop the label altogether. So those are our options. Thank you so much for the folks that have already got 10 thumbs up. That's fantastic. Thank you for everyone for being here. We have 25 minutes on the clock. I was going to say something about the time change, but I will at the end. But yeah, so Saban and like Aimless and Thelina, if Thelina's here, I think that's the Arizona crew. We're not changing our times on Sunday morning, but everybody else, to our perspective, is. So there's the funny thing about daylight saving time. I can never remember if it's single, if it's plural or singular. I think it's singular. Is that we don't change, and as a result of us not changing, our world outside of our time zone changes. So weird. But yeah, so okay. Oh, you're changing for the last time ever. Are we doing that too? Oh no, am I going to be on Pacific time forever? Oh, I didn't think about that. I now have my own existential crisis for the sit. So there you go. I thought we didn't ratify that. Oh, okay. So, Paul, you're saying that British Columbia is doing this all on their own? Wow. So you're stepping out and being like Arizona. You're the Arizona of provinces. Okay. Well, yeah. If I'm gonna have a crisis, I'm like super glad that I'm having the crisis with all you. I couldn't think of a better group of people to have an existential crisis with. Wow, you rebels. You really are. Yeah. When comparing the BC flag to everybody else, you kind of are rebels. So, oh, Saskatchewan was the first. Boom. Trendsetters. Okay. Wow, I am not up on my provincial timetables. So, okay. All right, I'm going to pretend to have focus. So let's see. They moved the clock on me. So it's over there now, and it used to be over here, and it messes with me, but it doesn't mess with you. So time is always an illusion. All right. Speaking of an illusion, we got 25 minutes on the clock. Got it set up. I'm gonna invite the bell, and I'm gonna probably take a few deep breaths to settle in. All right. Okay. So as we often do, we'll begin just by establishing our posture. I'm going to focus on the seated posture, either sitting in a chair, on a cushion, or a bench. But you could be lying down, standing, or even walking. And I'll trust that you can adapt the guidance to your selected posture. So, our goal is to be upright without being uptight. That's, oh wow, welcome, Cashew. We've missed you too. Our goal is to welcome Cashew and for our torso to be upright without being uptight. So the natural curvature of the spine, shoulders over the hips, feet arranged in a way that is comfortable and well, so be supportive. So if I don't put my feet in a comfortable way, then I fidget and move them while meditating, which is okay, but it's not super great. And then just kind of pausing to take a sampling. We're just sort of very curious observers. Take a sampling of what it's like to be in the body at the moment. We're not chasing anything away. It's more to see kind of what's the emotional state that we have in the sit as we enter the sit. And then a few deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo we're going for. Breathing in through the nose allows us to slow that breath down, sinking low into the belly. And if you have been rushing around today, this may be some of the first long, deep, complete, slow breaths that you've taken all day. I'm just letting you settle in there. Sorry, I was enjoying the deep breaths myself. So our technique is just feel. So what that really is a shorthand for saying that our focus range is feel in and feel out. And if you are pulled away by sounds, there's really no big deal. It's just kind of like, oh, the clock is drawing me away. Or mental images are pulling my attention. And then returning with admirable grace would be what I would say. So turning back, no big deal. And moving into feel. So we're really focused in feel space, but part of the practice is the fluid ability to be off track, out of focus, in focus, out of focus, in focus. It's kind of the if you're exercising at the gym and you realize that just from your body awareness that the exercise you're doing didn't feel quite right, and adjusting it before the trainer comes and says, hey, you want to change that so you don't hurt your back. So it's just doing that, just fluidly responding. And then just a reminder on the structure when we're doing a noting practice, we're again picking a focus range, feel. We're noticing where our attention is within feel, soaking our attention in, and then using that label feel as a support for the concentration. Our concentration may stay on the same place or it may move. And again, if it moves within feel space, we notice, soak attention in, label. And if we miss and are out of focus, we offer ourselves infinite compassion and bring our attention back. And if you need to silence a device or shush a dog or pet a cat, you can always do that. And then return back to the technique. At the core of any technique, we're realizing when we're applying the technique, when we're out of focus, and then bringing that back and coming back into focus or back sort of on program, if you will. And in doing that, we're getting equanimity, sort of cross training. And that equanimity cross training can leave the cushion with us and go wherever we go. And so I don't always remember to offer this to you, but you sort of took that emotional inner weather sample at the beginning. See if you could take one of those samples right now. Comparing ourselves to others is never helpful, but comparing the start emotional weather to the emotional weather right now can sometimes reinforce the benefit of the practice, which is helpful, especially when you're kind of hit a plateau in your practice. So just an offering there, not required. All right. So now that you've had a little sampling comparison, this is your opportunity to put our technique off to the side with care and shift into do nothing. And in do nothing, we're really offering ourselves a chance to just be. I almost say merely be, but being is a big deal. So we're really just sitting. And can do that in a way that offers joy and ease, and we can do it in a way too that's kind of stressful. So let's choose the joy and ease path. And the classic instructions are to let go of any intention to control our attention. And then if you notice sort of intentions to do that, like breath counting is one for me where I will spontaneously start breath counting and I'll let go and then I come back to it and I'll come back to it. And I just let the mind do it if it wants to. So your opportunity to do nothing. And I'll invite the bell to signal the end of our sit. Thank you for your practice. Brief dedication of merit. May the fruits of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. May our actions be for the benefit of all beings. May we remember that we are part of all beings. That's my addendum to the dedication of merit. Thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your schedule. Super delight to have you here, Cashew. You are super welcome, Bob. Thank you for being here. Okay, so next week we will have you're super welcome, Moira, and thank you so much, Paul. Thank you for your support, Paul. I'm so glad you made it, Trisha. You're super welcome, Fred, and it's great to have you here, Fred. And hello to Bill J. We're missing Bill B. So I think if you're finding the time change inconvenient, know that there's a real good chance that some of the Pacific folks will be able to join that haven't been able to join of late. So, and thanks for all the likes. So the time change. I said I was going to post more about this. I am gonna do something on Substack. It is super wonderful. I really Cashew for you to be here. The numbers are to make everybody's handles unique. I think at some point I can dust off if you want to email me at the email I just shared there, I can send you the instructions that Fred came up with for how to select your handle. So I don't think you can get back to Cashew, but you could get back to Cashew and something maybe, or because I think Cashew is someone else has Cashew, and that's why the numbers are there. So, and yeah, thank you for that, Gabrielle. Yeah, the loving kindness right now is it's a big deal. I forgot to point out that so Losar Tashidelik, I got this from the Tibet campaign, the International Tibet campaign. But Lunar New Year, we missed Lunar New Year, but it is the fire horse. So I kept forgetting to mention that. Maybe I did mention it. I don't know. But each of the so if you have friends that are Muslim, the Ramadan's going on right now, and the Buddhist countries all sort of celebrate the New Year differently. I know that Bhutan starts their lunar calendar a little bit different, but hopefully you got a chance to see the moon recently. Super cool. Time changes. Oh yeah, interesting. That's true. Japan does not. You're right. So it'll be 5. So it'll be 5 Pacific. So if we work backwards, that means it's 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and 8 Eastern. So the interesting thing is next week I will be dialing in from the East Coast, so at 8 o'clock, and it'll be at 5, not 5:15. So it has been at 15 minutes past. That was partly because of the work schedule that I had, because I worked up to 5 o'clock, and then I needed that 15-minute of buffer to make it to switch. Well, I used to switch laptops and yada 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 yada, all sorts of stuff you don't need to know. Or you could know, but it's not super beneficial. So, but next week I am doing a trip that I've wanted to do since I was 11 years old, and that is I am going to Minnesota Twins spring training in Fort Myers, Florida. I've wanted to do that since the Twins won the World Series in '87, and so when I was 11 and I was watching the next year's team at spring training, I really, really wanted to go to spring training. So I'm super, super, super excited about that. Let me quick. I should type this out really, really quick. So it's central just before. I think I put it. Maybe I put it in the. Maybe I put it in the thing, but so that trip has been something I've wanted to do for a super, super long time. And then while I'm there, I'm going to get to go to a Tampa Bay Lightning game, which means that I'll have gone to now 26. I have seen a hockey game in 26 of the 32 NHL cities. So I'm super, super excited about that. Oh, interesting, Brian. Okay. Yeah, I hear great things about Fort Myers, and the tickets are super affordable, which is really nice. I know sports is like not necessarily everybody's cup of tea, and so especially not in the meditation world. But I am a big time sports hockey, baseball, and reluctantly football. So it shouldn't be it shouldn't bump anything for us, but I'm gonna try to make sure that I get the time changes so that it's out there. Um, so it'll be on Substack, and then it'll be posted on Instagram. I'm posting things on Leonard's coaching very rarely, but I will get back to that. So that'll be super fun for me, and and I should be able to. I'm going to go to a game that day. I think I'm going to go to 3 games while I'm there. And I might be able to swing another game, but we'll see. But 4 baseball games in 7 days seems like, it would be amazing if I did it from the arena. No, I go to the hockey game on Thursday. On Thursday, I think that's the 12th. And then it's Friday the 13th, I think, that week, because there was a Friday the 13th last month, and they're like lined up perfect. So I think I'm going to a game on the 8th, the 11th, and the 12th for baseball games. So, interesting. So yeah, so that's that. Time change. So again, we're moving from. Yeah, I haven't seen the ferry yet. That's so maybe I should do a meditation from the outfield grass. I could do that. I probably could do that on Leonard's coaching. That might be a fun random thing to do. So maybe that's a thing I should just experiment with on this trip, is just doing live. I wonder if I'll have to see if I can go live from. Well, actually, I can go live to YouTube. What am I talking about? I don't need to go to Instagram. But yeah, and if you're subscribed, you'll get notified. And then they'll be around. After you're notified, the link should be in when you get notified. If you've tapped the bell or something, I think you get a link to it. So anyway, there's that. And then I did 2 meditation challenges in February, but not very well. So I tried to do Sharon Salzberg's meditation one, and I think I made it to like week 6 or day 16. And then I stopped, like just stopped. And then I tried to do the Real Attention 12-day challenge on waking up. I posted the calendar over here. That's why I'm pointing randomly over here, if you're wondering. And I think I made it to like day 4, and then I didn't do that. So I'm playing with ways of not publicly shaming but myself, but trying to encourage some accountability. So I've managed to actually meditate, just meditating with you right now. I've now meditated 4 days in a row in March, which I'm very happy about. So I am playing with ideas for how to do that. So you may see random things. Again, if you see me posting stuff on Substack, it's just me playing with the Substack platform. I'm not moving from YouTube. So I like YouTube, other than they moved the clock on me. So But all right, that's all of the things. I'm actually happy that I can tell you that there are a bunch of things, because usually I'm just like, all right, have a good day. But there does feel like there's things happening. So yeah, the being vegetarian now makes the ballpark eats a little bit different. And I don't know if this so veggie dogs, good call. Thank you, Paul. Um, if you have a moment of indiscretion and eat a hot dog after you haven't eaten hot dogs for a long time, I got massive headache eating like standard like sort of ballpark Frank sort of stuff. So yeah, that was something. All right. Oh yeah, where is Cashew? Jeff's sits live now are on Substack, and so Joe, who's helping Joe Mazza, I think it's Mazza, is helping Jeff run Substack for. So I think if you, I'm not 100% sure, so maybe folks can help me with this, but I think that if you subscribe to and sorry we're over time, if you subscribe to Home Base with Jeff, you'll get a notification, and then like folks here, like I saw Bob, and I'm sure a bunch of other folks, but I noticed Bob, and I know Olivia was there on Sunday. So Joe will start a chat on the Home Base with Jeff, and then in the chat they'll let you know when it has gone live. So I've been able to use the substack.com webpage with a decent amount, but get on Substack. Thank you for simplifying that, Paul. But yeah, get on Substack. And the Substack app and substack.com are the ways now for you to see that the chat beforehand, and then you'll see there's like you have to subscribe though. Yes. And the reason you have to subscribe is because that's the gate, that's the wristband to get you into the club. But I think the pre-chat I think has been a hit because the move from YouTube over to Substack meant that you couldn't chat until the sit started, and that was a big gap. So yes, 2 windows open is a good one for pre-chat, and then you can switch over to the live chat. But yeah, and the notifications I think are a little bit, they can be confusing, but Substack, get on Substack, and then if you have for some reason you have an issue, you can email me, Cashew, or anybody that is in here. So that's yeah. And from a standpoint of the number of folks joining, the Substack numbers are interestingly higher, so that's pretty cool. So but yeah, so I know between all the folks in the community, totally will get you set up for that. I think as a whole, the transition was cumbersome and bumpy at the beginning, but I think everybody is sort of settled in, especially now that the pre-chat is there. I think the pre-chat really brought back a part that a lot of people were missing. So, all right, cool. Well, thanks so much for sticking around, and all the likes and thumbs and whatnots. If you aren't subscribed, and you didn't get if you aren't on the newsletter, and you didn't get, or for some reason you didn't get yesterday's, it was last night actually, but that included Ruth's roving reporter on Jeff's aquarium event, send me that and I will forward it on. All right, see ya.